Well, as you may have seen by now, I have decided to change the name of my channel to Productive Living. So I've decided to change the name of my channel to Productive Living. And the reason for that is a lot of reasons. One, this channel is not just homesteading, and so to say that it's a productive homestead is true, but it's not encompassing of what all that I put into this channel as far as content wise. And so I wanted to come up with a name that better reflects how I feel about the channel and reflects the content that you're going to find when you select my channel. And so that's why I went with Productive Living. It's more about just living and the things that we do and the things that I do, and hopefully it helps one of you folks out there, and it has, and I appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all appreciate these videos, and so with all that being said, it's time to begin today's video, and we are building another cross. We did this last year. Last year it was one to walk with. This one is going to be a standing cross. This is going to be one that gets buried into the ground and gets stood upon by a member of our church, and so I'm building this for him. It's the same guy, and so big shout out to a couple of people. Mike donated the wood, and Buchanan Family Farm for cutting the timbers, the logs down to this size. All right, with all that being said, let's start by getting the right lengths. And so we're going to do a 10-foot riser. This 10-foot riser is going to give me at least 2 feet buried into the ground, and it's very temporary. We're only going to do this for one day. So being 2 feet into the ground allows us to stand it up without digging too deep, and it'll allow the guy to stand on the cross and hang there, represent Jesus and the sacrifice that he made, and while at the same time gives us enough of a riser above ground, it lives 8 feet, to get him up off the ground, so that the top of the cross hangs above his head. And then the side piece here, I think I'm going to do maybe 7 feet. I was thinking 6, but I think 7 is going to be better, because most people's wingspan is about 5.5 feet, maybe 6. So I'm going to see what mine is. It's probably much shorter than the average man's, but that's okay. All right, I'm right there. Okay, again, just right at 6 feet, 70 inches, just under 6 feet. So I have a 70-inch wingspan. So I think a 7-foot one of these crossbeam is going to be the right width. And so let's just see what that looks like. 7 feet is going to put us right there. I should have something to write with. Walk over here and see. I wonder what Vice Grip's doing. All right, got me something to write with. And we're going to do 7 feet, and I think that's going to be just right. That's going to give us enough on each side, so that it sticks out just past the hands, Okay. So we'll start by cutting this down. Okay. There's that. And this one we want to be about 10 feet. It can be a little more. Let's see what we got first. "10 feet is right here." And the feller that cut it, his sawmill, the blade got dull on him right about here. And so I'm just gonna cut this thing down right here at about 10.3. That gives us plenty of space, and it gets rid of that tapered end, which I didn't really care for. I need a chainsaw. I think this is gonna work better anyway, don't you? It's not wanting to start. She's a runner. Okay. The next thing we need to do is determine where we're going to join these two together. And to do that, we'll just do the old center trick. Center, center. Now, saying that, the uprights will present, the riser will present somewhat of a challenge, but we'll see if we can overcome it. I think we can. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I know I want 2 feet in the ground, right? So I'm just gonna put me an old mark right there at 2 feet. Two feet. There we go. And now, from there, So the average man is about 6 foot high, right? And so that 8 foot is our 6 foot mark. But 2 foot in the ground, now here's what we got to think about. 2 foot in the ground, we still need to be up off the ground a bit. And so what I'm going to do is measure me up to about my knee. So let's just say another 2 foot. So now we're at 4 foot. At 4 foot will be where our base goes, or where our feet go. That's an important mark to know. And then that leaves us 6 feet more than to the top of the post, which is just fine. So here's what we got to think about. We got to think about a couple of things. We need to think about where the cross beam needs to actually go. And to do that, I'm going to measure to my shoulder, or armpit, I should say, probably. "56. So at 56 inches plus 4 feet, 56 plus 4 feet, so how many is 56? 56 inches is 4 foot 8. So we're going to add, so 8 foot 8. So at 8 foot 8 inches, that's where our cross beam needs to go. And that needs to be the center of that beam. So that's what we're going to do. So here's the center, or here's where the center of our cross beam, right here at 8 foot 8 inches, which leaves us 19 inches above the shoulder, which is just over the head by my sight. So that is good. So now what we need to do is measure the width of this post and which side we want to face out. Do we want this to face out? Maybe. It's got lots of character, but I might actually just leave that facing out. I will. And so here's what we have. We've got 4 3/4. Well, actually, it's 11. It's 13/16 is what it is. No. Yeah, 11/16. 4. We're just gonna say 4 11/16 wide. And so let's do this. Let's find the center of this. Double check that. This is almost died just then. Did you see that? We are at 7 foot. So 3 foot 6 is half. Okay, and that's gonna work. 3 foot 6 is half. Okay. That's half of there. And then that up there. So what we're gonna do, if this is gonna be the front, we're gonna notch the back of this. That's what we're gonna do. So let's turn this over and do that again. Okay. 3 foot 6. 3 foot 6 inches. Okay, there it is. All right. And so this needs to be notched onto here to this width, which I'm going to do going back to that kind of wavy cut, which you can plainly see here. Pretty wavy cut for a saw blade, and it's okay for what we're doing, but I don't want to have to measure that for a notch. And I believe what I think we'll do is we'll just make that the back side. Yep, it's okay. So then here's our 8 foot 8 mark. Okay, there's our 8'8" mark. Now, I need to measure the width here. We are at 4 1/4. Okay, so 4 1/4 divided by 2 is 2 1/8. And so at 2 1/8 of an inch, okay, right there. Maybe a pencil for this part. 2 1/8, 4 1/4. Okay, and then this one is 4 11/16. So right here, okay, so we're going to go 2 5/16 right there. So 2 5/16. We're going to say, well, we're going to say, yeah, that's what we're going to say. 2 5/16, and then 4 11/16. Right there. Okay. So we're going to notch the front of this and the back of that so that they go together. Oh, I got some new boots. Did you see them? They're pretty nice. They're extremely comfortable. Okay. They're not sponsored. I was just letting you know. They're good boots. I don't have any sponsors. Okay. So now, all right, so those are our cuts. But we need to know how deep to go, right? And so how are we going to figure that? Well, we want it to come out flush, that's for sure. And we're at 4 15/16 here. So half of 4 15/16 is 2 15/30, right? Well, what's 15/30? Who even knows? But you know what 16/30 is? Half. So we're gonna go there and we're gonna drop in just below it. That's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna go right there. Like that. And then we're going to draw down. All right. So that's going to come out. And that's going to come out. Right? Yep. Okay. And then over here, same thing. But here's the difference. Same but different, but the same, but different. And here's how it works. We have to take the same amount of that off of here, not half of this, because then it would set too deep. So we need to go 2 15/30 here as well. So, and again, 2 1/2. That, and then draw down. Draw down. All right. Okay. So that'll set the rest of this post into here, allegedly flush with the face of our riser. So let's continue on by cutting those out. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. All right, here we go. Okay, that looks pretty snazzy. And I'm gonna go do the exact same thing over here on this other side. Sawdust all over me there. All right, and then you take this is a speed square. They call it speed for a reason. Okay. Because you take it in there, you just pop those guys out with it. That's what it's for. It's okay to drop it. Look at those. Don't those look cool? Be good kindling for the wood fire these cold nights. Of course, it ain't so cold anymore. More so, it just kind of feels like spring. Okay, there's that. All right, we'll attempt the same thing over here. Oh yeah. May have to get a chisel for this one. The old razor blade knife trick may not work on this one. Look at those biscuits though. Man. Yeah. Let me see if I can get a chisel. I found a chisel. I sure can. No. Okay. You good? All right. Okay, good enough. All right, let's check fitment. This top side is a touch high. I'm going to shave it down a little if I can. It almost feels like it's this one. Oh yeah, I see it now. Whittle on this for just a second here. Got that whittled on a little bit. That's better. I wonder if I turn it upside down. I may do that. This way. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. That's a pretty decent fit. Okay. There we have it. All right, so now for the next portion, we need to make this wood. We need to make this wood look not so new, and I have some ideas. So I don't know if it's actually gonna work or not, but we're gonna try it. I was looking at how to make wood look old, and I found a couple of things just on Google, just Googling stuff, you know. And they said to take steel wool, which is this, and mix it with vinegar. So I got 30% vinegar, which is 6 times more powerful than standard vinegar. And I got some steel wool. I'm just gonna unroll it because I don't have a bunch of time. They said you could wait up to days, you know, for this to have a stronger effect. And so I got 4/0 steel wool, thinking that the finer wool would give me a greater surface area and allow for pulling more of the iron oxide element out of the iron in a faster amount of time, being that it has more stuff to contact. And then I'm just gonna use 4 of these here. Open them up. Put them in there. Open it up. Put it in there. Like so. And then I'm gonna pour my 30% vinegar solution in there. This is total. I have no idea if this is gonna work or not. I really don't know. This is all just a big guess. But here we go. I can tell you that it definitely does smell like vinegar. I'm gonna say that's good, and it is. There's definitely nothing happening right now that I can see as far as chemically goes. All right, let's see what should I use to poke this with? Here we go. I found this stirrer over here. I don't know, this seems... We're just gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. All right, so the idea is to let that sit for a while. So what we're gonna do is just that. We're gonna let this sit for a while. In the meantime, I'm gonna set it to the side here. Okay, now, it would be awesome if this thing had just a touch of character. So let's see what we can do here. Get rid of this dirt. We don't need dirt on here, that's for sure. Keep in mind, 2 feet of this is going to be in the ground. So it looks too tall. That's because it is. I'm just cleaning this up a little bit, wiping the big sawdust off of it. So if our vinegar solution does work, it's not reacting to wood that's not going to be stuck, you know, sawdust. You may be asking yourself, now what? What in the world? I have some chain here, and I'm going to use it to impact this wood. Try to give it a little bit of character, some authenticity maybe. Hey. How's it going? Bright out today. Put my safety glasses on. Oh. You know, we've made a lot of videos here at the Productive Homestead. Yep. I've made a lot of videos. And, you know, sometimes you wonder, is it worth it? Is it worth the effort? You know what I mean? Is it worth all the time setting up and charging batteries and quitting when your camera dies and trying to remember where you left off? You know, stuff like that. You know? I don't even know what she needed. And so, you know, and there's a lot of times, you know, man, you know, I just do these videos, you know, because I like it. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to, you know, pull the wool over anybody's eyes or trick you, you know, make you think I'm trying to get away with something. I've only ever set to maybe provide a little humor, maybe provide a little entertainment, maybe a smile or two, you know, maybe a few comments like, you know, boy, he's an idiot, or man, I'd have done that completely different. You know, that's why I do it. So I just wanted to put out this little video while I'm getting ready to work on this car here, try to figure out what's going on with the air conditioner. It's the wife's car. It's a Chevrolet Traverse. I've made a lot of videos on this car in particular. I don't know that I'd recommend buying a Chevrolet Traverse. They seem to be a little bit needy in the maintenance department. But I guess all vehicles are at some point. But I guess it doesn't really matter. But I did just want to get on here and talk to you real quick about, you know, why I make videos for YouTube. You know what? It would be awesome to maybe one day, you know, generate some type of revenue off of it. It is rather costly, you know, cameras and memory cards and time and you know, and but that's not the reason that I do it. You know, if you people out there like my stuff enough to watch it and like the videos and all of those things, and if that turned into a, you know, a financial reward for me somehow, someday, some way, and that would be spectacular. But if it never happens, I'll still probably continue to make YouTube videos because I enjoy it. I enjoy the process. I love the filming. I love working on stuff. I love the editing part of it. It's fun for me. I really enjoy it. And I've come a long way, I think, from when I first started making a video and kind of getting into this deal. And I think the first one was a mixing concrete or something. I forget. I think I was pouring a little slab out in my back, out in my backyard, and that little mixing video, it was fun. But anyway, just wanted to take a minute and you know, say thank you for all of you out there, you know, in YouTube world that do watch my videos and like them and comment It truly is a blessing to me, because it does require, a lot extra, and so yeah, appreciate y'all. Keep it real out there. Keep your stuff going. Take care of your families. Get her done. All right, well, it's been a couple of days since I got the cross put together, and there was a reason for that. The solution, the vinegar and the steel wool solution, takes 2 days, 48 hours for the vinegar to pull the iron out of the steel wool and infuse it into the vinegar so that it can then be applied to the wood. But in the meantime, lots of things have happened, and so I'm going to go ahead and get us caught up on where we're at and what she looks like. All right, so this is what the vinegar, this was just clear vinegar, 30% distilled white vinegar, and it had steel wool in it. And I also threw a bag of black tea in here as well to provide some browns. And I let that sit for 2 days, and then I filtered it with a paint strainer, and it was sprayed through a spray bottle just fine. I applied that solution to this cross right here, and this is what it now looks like. So it was, as you know, it was just plain yellow pine wood, and it looked very yellow and new, and now it looks like this. Very old, nice color. It looks not brand new, which is what we were absolutely going for. And but now here we are. It's ready for the day. It's Good Friday, and we are ready to do this thing out here in Greenwood, Arkansas. I'm going to do it here in just a little bit. And anyway. All right, well, that's going to do it for this video. We appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you on the next one.